Can you go over some of the main forms like DS-160 and some of the other forms?
That's basically the form.
Oh, that
DS-160.
is the form? Okay.
Yeah, that's it. So once you do that, you pay the fee and you bring proof of payment that you've paid. They'll give you a date. On that date, you need to bring a passport. Your passport at least has to have 6 months validity date. Otherwise, they're going to say, hey, you don't have enough time on there, go renew it. And of course, renewing takes time. So a valid passport, proof of payment of the visa fee, the letter that outlines the date of your appointment. I think, and also supporting documents. So you'll be bringing this letter. Depending on how deep you want to go. And for B1s, it's really not that much documentation that's required. And from what I know as an attorney, they don't require it. You don't want to give too much because then there's confusion. Sometimes they want to make you nervous, so they ask more questions about it. So basically, you just want to streamline it and have a very, very succinct package. And so as far as supporting documents, again, I would check the website because it would depend on each embassy, but they like to know that you are literally coming to the US for this specific purpose, this 4 or 8 week, whatever your time frame is, and that you are returning back. So because B1s in nature are temporary, they want to make sure your visit is temporary for this purpose. So the supporting documentation will just show the doctor that is petitioning your stay here, or that you're doing your rotation with. A lot of times the letter is enough for that, but you can also have supporting documentation from the rotation and from the doctor and from the hospital. And another thing is that you can show that you own property or you have a long-term lease here. You are finishing up, school or whatever you're doing. Those things basically, and I'm just giving you examples, are things they're looking for that recognize that it's temporary, that you have some reason, you have ties to wherever you came from, and that you will be going back there after this visit. So for B1s, that is the main supporting purpose of the supporting documents. So again, you can check the website, but otherwise those are the main things. And also I forgot one more thing is that you are financially stable to come here. So in other words, they don't want someone coming here and then all of a sudden not being able to afford being here. So the government doesn't want to pay for that. So basically they want to make sure you are financially able to come here. You're supported either by family, yourself, and those things can be supported by documents by your bank account. Now, not every embassy wants to see those. So again, I would check, but that would prove financial stability and, documents that, oh, my parents live here, I own land here. That also seems to be helpful in India. So if that's the country that you're coming out of, I've seen that to be very helpful. And those are basically it. So it's nothing too big or dramatic for B1s. I know it's a little bit more difficult depending on which country you're applying from. So I do understand that nuance, but again, it's basically the root of it is the same. And so I think that about covers what is required. I know people asked about, I guess, the time frame. So in our letter, we state however long it is. They like that. They want to see a specific, 4 weeks. I'm going to be here on this date. And of course, they're not going to check every, day by day thing, but the more specific you are, the less scrutiny you will get. So so that's why we put that in the letter. Sometimes at the interview, they like seeing a ticket stub. I've seen that make them happy. So it's not required, but it's a tip that you can bring, even with the attached return. Now, I know some people want to squeeze in a little bit of vacation time while they're there. You already came here, you made it all this way. Why not squeeze in a couple trips here and there? I mean, overall, I don't see that to be a problem as long as you're within this time frame that you've requested. Now, if you go like 4 months over, next time you apply for it, if you're with a sticky officer, they might look poorly on that. So that's just something to keep in mind. But you know, if you know you're going to spend a little bit extra time, then when we write the legal letter, we can put that in there too. Like, we will be there for this sole purpose, and kind of just leave the window a little bit more vague on time, just so that you're covered. And I think that was one of the questions about, you know, extending the B1.
Yeah.